camp was the ultimate hippie fantasy. Tree houses on the beach, living naked.
Eating psychedelics. We were expanding our lives and our minds and our spirituality.
We wanted to get away from that crazy war, those crazy cops.
Yeah, we were definitely into peace and love.
Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
We had no idea what we were getting into when we started working on this film. We thought that maybe a year of production and 9 months of post-production and we'd have a film. And then more people came forward and with more material and also with a lot of comments. We did audience response forms at every preliminary screening until we felt the film was finished. We never changed the direction or the vision, but often we found out that what we thought we were doing, what we were trying to do, wasn't being communicated. The real vision and message of the film never changed. Our methods of getting that vision and message through were refined through the audience response forms. The greatest thing that happened as a result of the test screenings was people continued to come forward with stories, with home movies, with wonderful photographs, historic material, and it continued to add to the story. We never made the film longer. We were always looking at doing 90 minutes approximately. So we were constantly winnowing through the material and removing weaker stuff and putting in better things. When we first started, we had great cooperation from the Taylor campers, what I call the Taylor Camp alumni. They were kind of demanding, like, when are you going to get this thing done? You know, it's 35 years have gone by. You know, didn't you promise in 1977 that we were going to get a book and a film, and you know, what's going on? So they were ready to work with us. But the Taylor Camp story could not be told without the local community, because it's really a story of Kauai. What Kauai was, maybe what Hawaii was, what we've lost, what we've gained. And the story really couldn't begin to be told without the local community. Because for me, Taylor Camp was just a vehicle to tell a story during this late 60s, early 70s time when Hawaii was going through a phenomenal transition. The plantations were all closing, the economy was changing. It was really difficult for a lot of local people at that time. A lot of the struggles that the local community had with, you know, these crazy hippies invading their community. But after about 2 years, when we started doing these preliminary screenings, the local community started coming forward. Bill Kauai, the policeman out there at that time who was arresting the Taylor campers for Pakalolo and his stories. So all these stories with photos started coming through. It was that process of just sending it out and then seeing what came back.
I think a lot of people could learn a lot from watching this movie, and especially in today's world of what's going on. But yeah, great times, and makes me jealous. Wish I was there, you know?
There was a tie-in to the Vietnam War that I had no idea of, the escapism and the paradise.
Wonderful. We're from Canada, and it was just wonderful.
I think it was fabulous. I'm from Bend, Oregon, and this is a real eye-opener. But I lived back in that time span, and I could see how this could happen easily, and it was just a marvelous movie.
The most important thing that we added to the film that we really didn't have any idea about doing when we started out were the credits at the end. So many people asked, what are these people doing now? It really seems to complete the film for a lot of the audience. We've also done some test screenings in southern China, Shenzhen. They assumed I had hired actors, built sets, did costumes, and created this fantasy of these crazy people living in tree houses on a beach in paradise. I think culturally, especially because they've gone through the Cultural Revolution, it wasn't within their consciousness, their worldview, to believe that a place like Taylor Camp could ever exist or could have ever existed in the world. And when I explained to them, no, I hung out with these people for 2 years and came by maybe every other weekend and just photographed what I saw, they were astonished. Still kind of disbelieving, because they're so used to propaganda. They're so used to everything being phony, you know, and they know it's phony, so they just assume everything is phony. Then I went to Bhutan, and we got a complete opposite reaction. The Bhutanese, because of the way that they live very close to nature, Bhutanese looked at this film, oh yeah, hippie sadhus, crazy villagers. We know what these people are. We got them too. So I would say that in Bhutan, even though they really had no concept of the summer of love and flower power and the whole hippie thing, they immediately recognized this as being sort of crazy but normal. And the Chinese just looked at it as impossible.